We start tonight at 6 o'clock with storms on radar.
So here's a look at them right now. So the big question is, how long were they going to last and how long will the rain stick around? Angela has the answers as she tracks it for us tonight.
You may not like the answer, especially for outdoor plans this week, because we have this daily storm chance now through early Friday.
Ooh,
yes.
All 5 days.
All 5 days. If you're counting all 5 days. Yes, so just be prepared for these storms to at times interrupt those outdoor activities. We do have storms on radar this evening. What you see out west, flash flood warning just east of Effingham, Illinois. They've been dealing with a lot of rain today. The storms have been weakening a bit as they move in our direction, so that's a piece of good news. However, the rain comes down so heavy, it reduces visibility at times, and from time to time, we may end up with some lowland flooding. Marion County is clear. We do have some rain in Lebanon up into Frankfort. It is heavy at times into Flora, Logansport, picking up some lightning near and just north of Monticello. We also have some heavier rain pushing just east of Lafayette, and Lafayette heads up. What's moving east of Attica will continue to move your way. Future Track 13 keeps the showers and thunderstorms going for the next couple of hours, and we may end up with another wave weakening a bit as it moves our way overnight. We'll talk about the severe threats and more on these daily storm chances in just a few minutes.
Angela, thank you. We'll check back. In the meantime, breaking in the last hour in Cumberland, just east of Indianapolis. Police tell us they've now made an arrest. This in a hit and run that took the life of a 6-year-old boy.
Police just provided that update for us in the last hour. We've got Ashton Hackman joining us live tonight at 6 with how police tracked down this suspect. Ashton?
Yeah, well, Scott and Anne Marie, they say that witness statements, security video, along with license plate readers helped detectives piece all of this together in less than 36 hours. We learned just a short time ago that a 22-year-old Cumberland man is in the Marion County Jail tonight on preliminary charges of leaving the scene of a fatal accident. Cumberland police tell us that 6-year-old Jari Spencer was able to get out of his home sometime early Sunday morning. They don't think that he was out for much time before he was hit along a stretch of East Washington here in Cumberland. And in those 36 hours since, police again say that security cameras along with license plate readers helped them track down their suspect who was arrested during a traffic stop this afternoon. They remind all drivers that regardless of the situation, you have to stay on scene for a fatal crash.
There's no really words to describe the scene of having to tell parents that their 6-year-old child is dead from an accident. Again, there's no words to describe that. It's just gut-wrenching. It's hard to deliver that message. It's hard to deal with that for them and for us. This is not something we ever want to see.
Just a heartbreaking case nonetheless. Police tell us that boy, again, wasn't out for much time before that crash happened. We are waiting for official charges from the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Of course, when that probable cause affidavit is filed, we'll learn more about how police were able to track down their suspect. But Scott and Anne Marie, they tell us that license plate readers really helped them in this case.
All right, we'll be following this case. Just a devastating outcome, though, for this family. Ashton Hackman in Cumberland, thanks so much. A town councilor in Zionsville is being sued tonight, accused of taking advantage of a woman with dementia to get the deed to her home.
Jenna Webster now explains the allegations and what that counselor is responding, what she's saying in her own defense.
The civil lawsuit filed against Zionsville Town Councilor Sarah Sampson surrounds ownership of this property. Court documents say the 7-acre property on Ford Road has been in Carolyn Pennington's family for 150 years, and she wanted to keep it in her family. Last fall, contractors started work to restore Pennington's home, finding mold and describing a hoarding situation. Weeks later, she went to a senior living facility, and court documents say medical providers indicated she had dementia. Attorneys for Pennington's daughter and grandson, who's also the trustee of her trust, say in April Sampson removed Pennington from the facility. They allege during that time Pennington named Sampson as her trustee and a week before she died while in the hospital signed a deed selling the property to Sampson. The family argues Pennington was not of sound mind, could not sign those documents, and Sampson took advantage. They allege Sampson prevented them from seeing and speaking with Pennington, and Sampson did not tell them she died until 2 days later and had her embalmed without their permission. Sampson did not testify in the preliminary injunction hearing. Do you have any response to the allegations made today?
No comment.
Do you have any, can you tell us about how you came to be living with her, how you came to be her trustee?
We were good friends.
Yeah, tell me what your relationship was like with Miss Pennington.
That's all I'm going to say.
Sampson's attorney, meanwhile, called it the most salacious allegations he's ever seen. He argued 2 years ago Pennington sold 1.2 acres of her property to Sampson, and that was well before any what he called allegations of dementia. The town of Zionsville says they are aware of the allegations and say they involve a private matter not having to do with town business or town operations. Meanwhile, the Boone County Democratic Party is calling on Sampson, who was elected in 2024, to resign from town council. In Boone County, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Right now, there is a temporary injunction in place, and that will remain in effect through the 22nd of this month. Then a Boone County judge is going to have to decide whether or not to issue a preliminary injunction, with the family asking for Pennington's grandson to be able to take control of that family property.
Tonight, a Beech Grove man is charged with intimidation after allegedly threatening radio hosts Hammer and Nigel. Now, according to these court documents, it started with a social media post from Hammer and Nigel about the former Ball State employee who was fired over comments made about Charlie Kirk's death. Police say Tristan Parker Jones commented on the post saying, quote, "You two are next." In an interview with IMPD, police said that Jones admitted to posting that comment, but said it was not a legitimate threat. Now there's a warrant out for his arrest.
Charges are expected soon in a church festival shooting that injured a teen in Greenwood.
And that wasn't the only case of violence at a festival. Gunfire also broke out this weekend in Ohio. Our Jenny Runovich tonight shares the impact on keeping these summer events safe.
That unfortunate violence is prompting more conversation about security at local festivals, including here at Holy Rosary Catholic Church, where the Italian Street Festival is happening this weekend.
Food and family fun is always on the menu for the Italian Street Festival, but organizers say safety is the main course, especially this year after gunfire in Greenwood injured a teenager at another church festival Friday. The 16-year-old who police say opened fire, captured on camera by a festival goer getting arrested. That violence helping to shape how Holy Rosary is planning its safety strategy in Indy. 6 to 8 foot fencing around the event, 3 points of entry, ID checks, and officers monitoring crowds, plus a security service, calling it a sobering reality of hosting public events right now.
I reached out to that service this morning and already kind of increased the level of officers that we would have, just because I think it needs to be done. We want to make sure that people are safe.
What about changing this festival to a gun-free zone? Well, that is something organizers tell me they are discussing with the Archdiocese, although no decision has been made yet. As for the festival in Greenwood, the teenage suspect is still awaiting formal charges. In Indianapolis, Jenny Runovich, 13 News.
We're just learning from IMPD just announcing 10 arrests after people were caught street racing and participating in street takeovers over the weekend. 4 of those were made along 82nd Street. That's where large groups of trucks were gathered doing burnouts and blocking traffic Saturday night. The 3 other arrests happened on local interstates for street racing that exceeded 100 miles an hour. In the end, police also towed 8 vehicles.